The Dancing Axe. He hails from a cold land, dark land. The Order Lotus he was part of was wiped out 7 years ago in the pure war. Shifting, marinating. The smoke-stained air of the tavern mellowed the mind. So he fucking dances what? Before or after he kills you with his axes? Shut up, Kano. The elder warrior flicked the back of the young lad's head as he spoke, his iron gauntlet clanking with the impact. Kano winced and began to occupy himself with the bowl of meat stew in front of him. The lore master straightened himself once more in his chair before exhaling a stream of smoke through his lips. The tobacco smell in the place was strong as is, but the herbs wrapped in the lore master's fine leaf put the best cigarettes to shame. Of course he does more than swing about wildly, the lore master began. The dancing is a fluent fighting style of his order, but they were most known for throwing their axes while fighting, wreaking mayhem as shock troops. We could disarm him when he throws, Kano gurgled from within his bowl. The elder warrior, the one called Calcifer, leaned back in his chair, swishing his half-full mug of beer in his hand, the look of contemplation heavy on his face. Come on, cuzzy, let's take the bounty. 500 gold pieces for one dead man walking? That's a no-brainer, I think, said Kano, as he scooped up the last of his stew. You don't think, cousin, nor do you have a brain. That's why I'm in charge. I don't want to bring my aunt's son head back in the box. Whatever, scoffed Kano while flagging down the nearest waitress. The bounty has been up for almost 3 months. Who else has pursued this prey, and what of their fates? Said Calcifer. The lore master stared at him for a good moment. After having a couple clouds of smoke blown in his face, Calcifer threw a silver coin on the table. The lore master slowly picked up the coin and brought it to his milky gray eyes. Once he was satisfied with his inspection, he began to speak again. I've only known of one group of 4 going after him. They were obviously inexperienced. They did not seek the wisdom of a lore master before setting out on their journey. Only when the sole survivor of the party returned with everything below her elbow lost to the crows did I get a full picture. Of course, I paid to listen to her tale, which confirmed the origin of the warrior for me, though the well-trained lore master like myself could easily recognize the symbol of the Lotus Order tattooed under his right eye. This, along with the bounty name, was enough for me to draw conclusions. Her story was the nail in the coffin. And this woman, where is she now? Asked Calcifer. Gone. Left maybe 2 weeks after her near-death experience. Her party went after the bounty a month ago. The guild has not sent an admin to update the board yet, but if the bounty isn't completed soon, I would not be surprised to see the bounty pulled from the commoners, doubled, then formally issued to the more equipped adventure houses. The wave of contemplation washed over Calcifer's face again. Kano was waving for another waitress again after finishing his second mug of beer to Calcifer's half. He was completely checked out of the conversation now. Calcifer did not speak. Instead, he thought about the risk versus reward for taking this bounty while finishing his own mug. Any who survived the pure war is tough as iron. Calcifer's father and his uncle, who was Kano's father, fought in it. Only Calcifer's father returned, with 3 fingers missing from his sword hand and his brother's bow and dagger, which Kano carried now. Calcifer's father returned to us a warrior, a mere farmer no more. The Pure War was a 3-year civil war between the higher and lower classes, with the middle classes, like Calcifer's small farming village, having to choose sides. Calcifer's village fought with the lower classes. The way his father explained it, there was never a choice. The middle-class merchants, artisans, and scholars mainly sided with the high-born nobles. That's where their funds came from, Calcifer's father explained. But for us small village dwellers, we must fight and work for our livelihood. I'd die before I let those stone humpers in their castles add my birthplace to their long list of lands and titles, was Calcifer's father's exact words, if he remembered correctly. The hunter houses was the reason the war was so bloody and lasted as long as it did. The hunter houses hunt not only regular game, but beast, like the 8 feet tall saber-toothed cats, or the more common packs of red-horned deer that impale then drink the blood of their prey. But even rarer beasts stalk the lands of Man beasts, like werewolves and vampires, dot the land with their different clans and claves. Mutants, an entirely new subspecies popping up, are very common in Komono. It is the treatment the lower classes and some middle classes endured and still endure from the more safe and well-off city dwellers in their high wall cities that started the Pure War. The hunter houses specifically traded and relied on the hunting of various beasts for parts, making them some of the strongest warriors to come across. 2 years ago, he might have said they weren't ready for such a seasoned foe. But after felling several beasts single-handedly and eliminating plenty of bandit parties looting the lands, Calcifer felt a tug of pride compelling him to take the bounty, though the money for his aging father and their village would be a boon too. The constant chatter of the tavern stopped briefly, before continuing as 6 knights in silver armor entered. 4 of them made their way to the bar. The other 2 approached the table of the lore master. The shorter man had a gold trim to his armor, marking him a captain. The woman next to him had no trimming, just a full silver armor compared to her captain's gold and her fellows at the bar bronze armor trim. She was second in command of the party. "What are damn knights doing here?" grumbled Kano, clearly drunk at this point. "Lore Master, I request your aid," the captain said, while throwing 9 gold coins on the table, ignoring Calcifer and Kano. "Don't you see where—" Kano started. When Calcifer placed a hand on his shoulder, he paused. "Go, bring the horses around," Calcifer whispered. "We're taking the bounty." Kano's face flashed with excitement. He laughed out loud, finishing his 3rd mug, and grabbed his bow along with the bounty flyer. The captain intercepted him, placing his gauntlet on the flyer as he tried to slide it off the table. "What's this?" he mused. "The dancing axe. A word of advice, whelps. Leave this bounty alone. This man is no simple murderer like the paper says, but an assassin. He killed the governor of Thors, the port city to the west, along with 4 knights. This is a royal house-sponsored bounty to save face and get revenge where their own knights were obviously failing. I hate the royal houses, but their money is real. The guild wouldn't put a bounty on a man this high unless he went on this kind of killing spree for at least another year." Kano looked from the captain to Calcifer, and Calcifer nearly laughed when he saw Kano's face. His slightly open mouth, raised eyebrows, the dumbfounded look practically oozing the words, in one ear and out the other. The man did talk a lot, and he called me a whelp, Calcifer thought, but his information wasn't totally unwelcome. He nodded to Kano, granting him leave, and as he did so, Calcifer shot an irritated look at the lore master. Both has been sitting across from each other since before the knights arrived, but the sudden eye contact caught the lore master off guard. He stammered while smushing his cigar into the ashtray on the side of him. "I've only received 3 silver from you." "That information is worth at least 5 gold pieces," he protested. "You should have told me the price for all the lore. You never asked," he spat back. "Greedy bastard." "At least I know where to start my search," Calcifer said. He scooped up his long sword, fixing it across his back. "Ha ha ha ha! The lore masters this close to the capital are all greedy bastards," said the captain, shouting at Calcifer's back as he made to leave. "Good hunting, Calcifer, son of Gorm." Calcifer paused in the doorway of the tavern. He didn't turn around. "I am Alexios, knight captain of the adventure house Torah. Our house fought in the pure war with the lower classes. Your sword, Dragon's Tooth, has saved my life countless times," said Alexios. Silence in the room for the briefest of moments. Then Calcifer said, "Well met, Alexios, the bear of blood." He turned now to face him. "My father has told me many stories of you. May fate put us under the same stars again." Calcifer gives a warrior's bow, his fist pressed against his heart, then he walks away. "May fate put us under the same stars again," Alexios whispered. "Such formality, Gorm. You raised a knight, not a farmer." "Captain?" the female knight says, placing a gauntlet on his forearm. Yes, Elaine. Back to the matter at hand." "Lore Master," he shouts while sitting in the now empty chair across from him. "Tell me all you know about the Jade Wyvern." "That guy's annoying," said Kano as he approached with the horses from the direction of the stables. "You don't say," Calcifer mused. They saddled up and began a slow trot towards the city gates. "So, the dancing axe?" Kano asked, grinning that evil smile of his while adjusting the quiver and bow on his back. "The dancing axe," Calcifer confirms. "To Thors!" Kano yelled, spurring his horse into a gallop ahead of him. To Thor's, Calcifer echoed, his familiar look of contemplation etched on his face.